Hi, my name is Donny and I'm doing my presentation on crude oil distillation. Crude oil refining. Crude oil refining is based upon crude oil being extracted from the ground. There are three main components to crude oil refining. Upstream deals with the actual drilling of the oil. Midstream deals with the refining and distribution of the oil. Downstream deals with the retail of the petroleum product. The next step is fractionation. Once the crude oil enters a refinery, it enters a distillation tower and is separated into components based upon its boiling points. As the temperatures of the crude oil in the distillation columns rise, the crude oil is able to separate itself into various products. And here's a illustration of a distillation tower. The next step in this process is cracking and reforming. Once the various products are separated by boiling point, they enter the second stage of production. Cracking in the process, breaking heavier molecules into smaller molecules which are more profitable and useful. Reforming in this process, in which chemical reactions are used on longer hydrocarbon chains in order to change the composition of the hydrocarbon chain. Here's another illustration of cracking and reforming. The future of crude oil distillation. Fracking has been among the most disruptive technological application in the history of U.S. energy production. In 2009, oil producers were averaging around 5,300 barrels per day. Just 6 years later, the United States was nearing producing 10 million barrels a day before an oversupplied market kneecapped prices, prompting producers to shut down operations and abandon oil fields. Ultra low sulfur fuels. Due to the EPA regulations, many refineries are having to improve process in order to produce low sulfur fuels. This requires investment in new equipment in relatively old plants. However, this will allow for companies to help combat environmental effects of transportation, including acid rain and global warming. Coker units. Coker units are one of the most profitable units in a refinery. The process of coking takes the residual bottoms out of the crude distillation tower and repossesses it and cracks the lone molecules into reusable products. The importance of crude oil refining. The energy sector has been heavily dependent on the crude oil distillation process since the Spindletop of 1901. However, oil and crude is limited natural resource that will eventually diminish. The United States holds the largest refineries in the world, which is located in Port Arthur, Texas. Although the United States partners with continues around the world to produce and sell oil products, over the last decade there has been a decrease in foreign dependence of oil. The importance of crude oil distillation. The economy of Southeast Texas is heavily dependent on crude oil distillation. It is a constant source of job growth with refinery expectations. Without the discovery and refinement of this process, the world would not be able on the level that it is today. Well, that's the end of my presentation on crude oil distillation. Thank you.